Non-disclosure.
Oh, okay.
When a man is prospering in wealth, and he leaves the wife behind, he's sowing a seed for that midlife crisis. Because he arrives at his destination and the wife has not started. It's way back. You sent me a message the other day about what women miss out during childbirth. A man should be conscionable enough to know that if your wife
It was
is
part of
not...
the keynote I
Yes.
had at the Embassy of Mexico.
If your wife is not working as a result of childbearing, she can go to school during that period. If she should sincerely look back, she will see that that time was not totally lost. So my reply to you then was that the person who sent you the message, if he hasn't done, he did not do for his wife, he did not pay.
You should start paying now.
He should pay or shut up. Because quite frankly, as men, one of the blind spots that we leave is leaving our wives behind.
That's
as
a
we
blind
saw.
spot. Yeah.
That is usually, the woman can't even articulate or speak about it, but it's usually the biggest point of bitterness at midlife for the woman. The man has arrived at his peak.
His destination.
And you have nowhere to go.
You have not boarded your flight.
Yes. Second one is where a woman is doing well. Marriages hardly survive if the man is not doing well.
Because of your analogy that the woman is not wired to be the provider.
Yes, and the man is not wired
to be the provider for long. She doesn't mean that if the man is not doing well, but you could support maybe for a long time, or what do you think?
No, support. You see, support is the key word. Support means that the man is able.
Okay.
You don't support something that is not standing.
Oh, wow.
Now, if the man is down and the woman is up, marriages don't work. And it's not only because the woman is not wired to provide. The man is not wired to receive. The receiving man becomes resentful. The receiving man's ego is always bruised. When the woman says, hey, honey, can you boil that water for me there?
She sees it as
he's like, you're sending me on an errand because of that money you gave in the morning. So it is usually a two-way thing. It is difficult to manage in those situations where one person is leaving the other behind. Traditionally, the man is usually older, 6 years older, so he's ahead in life. The woman is often just starting. Help her, even as you're going. Do things that when tomorrow we go to that table, she points, you can point something. Say, no, it's not true that you were totally left behind.
Wow.
External
so much to unpack. Yeah.
External factors destroy young marriages. But people do not also reckon that external factors destroy even older marriages more.
Okay.
When a woman is at midlife, she finds need for friendships, for validation.
For social circles.
For validation that she did not have. And so she begins to open up to other persons about things that she didn't open up. She looks at that other woman and feels that her life is complete. Meanwhile, that woman's life is in a mess. And then you open up to her. She does not tell you her life is in a mess. She tells you, I can't take it. And then because you are old and unwise, in first of all, going to even have that conversation, you find that it begins to shape your perspective of your man. You begin to wonder, why can't he do like B, Mr. B? That happens a lot to women in midlife. Why can he not be like this person? Why is he not doing this for this person? Why am I not like this person? I'll give you an example. Why am I having to still cook for my husband when Mr. B has aides who cook?
Cooks and professionals
who cook. But all fingers, first of all, are not equal.
And your husband just might like your food, so even if you're 80, you should still be cooking.
No, but you find that when you attain that age.
At 80,
yes, there are women at 80, but what you do not also answer, you are cooking. Is that 86-year-old man still doing for you?
What?
Does he still buy flowers and give to you?
Interesting.
Does he still go out and see a nice bikini and buy it for you?
With a walking stick.
Yes, even when you are 80. If the man continues to show you love, which is the ground commandment that God gave to the man.
Yeah.
Yes, covenant. The man says, God says to the man, love your wife It does not say that the man is faultless. It doesn't say that the man is spotless. It doesn't say that he won't fall to adultery. But love your husband. And he says to the wife, submit. The problem is that coming from the woman's side, often the midlife woman begins to make it conditional. God doesn't say that you should submit to a man that is able to provide, even though it is his duty, or a man that is able to love. And for the man, God did not say to love a submissive woman. He says, love your wife. When you can no longer love your wife, then the marriage will end. When you can no longer submit to your husband, the marriage is likely to have issues. Mm-hmm. Remember that I began by laying a caveat that I am a conservative Christian lawyer.
Okay,
that means that my understanding of marriage might be different.
So left to you, it should be to death duel's path. Yeah, your preference.
Yes. But let me conclude what I was saying. As a conservative Christian lawyer, I believe that marriage should be ordered according to the precepts of God. If you love your wife as Christ loved the world, you will find faults with the man, but you will not find enough reasons, except you just simply want to go. If your wife is submissive to you as a man, and as I said, submission means allowing the man to lead, and liken it to the pilot, to an aircraft. Imagine mid-air. Marriage is like a flight taking off. When it has taken off, landing place is difficult to find. The landing gears, when they deploy, it means things are in problem. If there are two equal pilots in that plane, without one having a final say, what happens mid-air if there's a problem? It's a crash.
Must have the final say.
So that's what it means.
Okay, so what we do on the platform of the Fulfilled Woman is not to make decisions for women, but to give information, to give clarity, to empower. And I believe that we've done that a lot in this episode. But that woman, one or two women who are out there and saying, okay, I've decided to leave. I don't want to stay for various reasons and all of that. What would you say from a legal perspective? What should she consider? What are her protective rights? Of course, you know the terminologies you use, what her rights and all of that. What should she be looking at to protect herself, as she makes that decision, or even after she makes that decision? Because now there are children, there are properties, there are all kinds of things. What are her options and her protective rights? Okay. She has decided she just must
Oftentimes, let me first address the fear.
Okay.
A lot of women remain in marriage out of fear.
Okay.
First fear is, where do I go to from here?
Yeah.
No money.
Yeah.
When you're in that situation, you must talk to a lawyer so that you know what your legal rights are in divorce. In Nigeria, just like I think there are a few jurisdictions, but in Nigeria, let me focus on Nigeria. In Nigeria, there is no 50-50 sharing rule. Women must know. There is no 50-50 sharing rule at divorce. There is also nothing like leave my house.
Okay,
that women say in movies. Those are movie things. It's not applicable in
the
Nigeria.
Western world.
The law does not permit you in Nigeria to ask your husband to pack a bag and leave. Oftentimes, the property is titled in the man's name or jointly. So if you are young, even though this is not for the young, try to be sure that you have a few protective situations around you. But if you are not, and you're 50 years, 60 years getting into a divorce, talk to a lawyer, because our laws also require judges who are handling a divorce matter to check what were your contributions. And those contributions are not necessarily financial. What did you, as young people say these days, what did you, it's not what you brought to the table, but in the course of the marriage, what did you keep on the table? And it's not only money. So if you are considering marriage, do not act simply on emotions and say you are afraid. If the fear is simply, okay, where do I start life from? Then get counseling from appropriate persons.
That's when you've decided you need to leave.
Yes, when you've decided you need to leave. Now, you have legal rights as a woman. It is not true as you think that when you walk out of a marriage, you walk out with nothing. No. The law requires that if you have been accustomed to a certain standard of living and you are living a marriage, the man should be able to, sometimes they use the term alimony.
Even if the divorce is at your instance.
Yes, let me give you an example. Divorce is at your instance because the man was adulterous, for instance. It is not as if you didn't want to continue to marry. It is that there is a legal ground upon which you can leave the marriage. If there are young children of the marriage, it is the responsibility of the man to provide for the man. So if you are earning enough, if you're earning more than the man, don't expect that the court will say the man should give you. The court will look at what the man is able to earn. If the man has enough money to provide for you, there is a legal duty to provide for you even after marriage. And you can extract that if you make use of a good family lawyer.
Good family lawyer, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But before you jump into that marriage, I have lost a few clients because I insist that our laws are not laws to make divorce happen. Our laws are laws to make marriage endure, marriage sustain. Now, if that is the case, we first look at, are there still ways that the marriage can be salvaged?
Yeah.
If the marriage can no longer be salvaged, if that amputation must take place, I also always insist that it is best I as a lawyer get the other spouse and his lawyer to sit down and work out amicably how we can resolve the divorce process. Because often there are children involved.
Yes.
When you put it on record that this man is a useless man, this man is a native doctor, this man committed this, man committed that.
Or in these days, go on social media to...
you are not just destroying yourselves, you are destroying a generation of people.
Wow.
So I always, as a family law practitioner, think that there is nothing about marriage that cannot be discussed. Absolutely nothing. It can be, once you reach the understanding from family level to lawyers level, it is easy to say, look, okay, there are 3 cars in this house. Madam, you can go with one. I have 2 houses. I have 3 houses. You can take one there. This one is my own. Take that other one. And let's be friends. It is easier to still remain just amicable. You can, because you have children in between you. When there are no children in a marriage, it is easier to have a clean slate. But when you have borne a man's name, you bore a man's name for 40 years, and you have children who are in their 30s, and they have grandchildren, if life is not at stake, find a way to work out the marriage.
Find a way to work it out. Now, there's something that, while you were speaking, that just occurred to me. So we're talking about legal rights and options. And when the woman decides to leave, and some people say, okay, you can keep the man's name, and you don't keep the man's name. Talk to me about that from a legal perspective. Can the man demand, drop my name or whatever? Some want to continue with the name. Some don't want to continue with the name. What are the legal, the woman's rights legally concerning that?
First of all, it's only very petty, insecure men that
will say, okay,
say,
drop
my name. What's in the name after all? Not much. And of course, are you Bill Gates?
Okay, that's your name shouldn't be. I like that.
I like that your woman should not answer
your name is very important.
I think that if the woman opts after marriage to retain the name of the man, I view it as an honor. Really, that she continues to bear your name. She can drop the name, but it's usually a chain of challenges. You bore a name for 30 years, your certificates, your documents, people know you as it is wickedness to ask to delete. It's like saying the woman should cease to exist and start from beginning. So in my view, I've never advised it. It is wickedness. Okay. But if a marriage is annulled, which is different from divorce.
Oh, talk to me about that.
Yes, annulment can happen where the marriage was based on a fraud.
Oh, so it never took place in the first place.
Let me give an example. A woman knew that she didn't have a womb. And then she deceives the man. The man is expecting that they will have children. Or she schooled in England and had gotten married there. There's an existing marriage. Or he schooled in England and there's an existing marriage.
I was going to tell you, why are you focusing on the she alone?
So I've checked it now. And then he comes back and gets married. And why I was focusing on the she is the name.
The name, yes.
So then they get married. That marriage, you can go to court and say, look, this marriage was based on fraud, or there was a pre-existing marriage, so this marriage didn't exist.
So in that instance, she must drop that name?
She should drop the name because there's no basis for bearing the name. No basis for bearing the name. But as I said, overarchingly, it's unnecessary. Needless, it is petty, and oftentimes you are punishing the woman to make her go. And it's like you said it correctly, if you have been bearing Mrs. Chinye for 30 years, you have to start reintroducing yourself to the world that you are
Lady
okay.
Chinye, please.
Oh, absolutely.
Just chip that in.
Okay. So Chinye is also speaking here. So it is.
Yeah.
You go back and start reintroducing yourself to the world. Yeah. It is probably.
But some men would insist, maybe if he feels bitter.
It is
Don't
wickedness.
You think so? Have you seen instances like that in your work?
Yes,
in your practice?
there have been instances like that. But you do not have a right, because even if she wasn't your wife, is she the only Mrs. Chinye in the world?
Oh, so you don't have a right as a man to demand that? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that that right is meaningless if there was one, because the name that she's bearing, why you are saying it is because she was your wife. But if she steps out there, if you find another woman bearing Oke Chinye, would you ask the woman to change her name?
Okay.
What I'm trying to say in law is this, that the fact of divorce does not compel change of name. Just like the fact of marriage does not also compel change of name. I hope you know that.
Yeah. Some in the Western world, they
it doesn't compel change of name. It is a tradition that we've adopted.
Yeah.
It is, and in fact, matter of fact, most people do not know marriage is actually essentially a question of tradition.
Okay.
A legal basis.
Yeah, before I come to my final note, there's something that I just like you to, talk to that woman. Yes, we've unpacked a lot. We've talked about a lot of things. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot from the legal perspective and terminologies that all those big grammars I didn't, know about. But so we've unpacked a lot. But yeah, so see, I know this episode is not about domestic abuse, but I know because a lot of people would listen to this. So there's this woman who may be out there and she's been battered at home, or she's not financially empowered. So she's in a very bad place at the moment. Very, very bad place at the moment. And she needs to leave. Where should she begin from?
Okay, let me first
say... what should she...
First say that... let me quickly put it out there so that it's clear. There are two kinds of abuses that are in the household. There is domestic abuse, which is not necessarily the abuse of a wife. The abuse of a spouse is called spousal abuse. It is a kind of domestic abuse. If you are beating your driver, it is domestic abuse.
Okay.
So for spousal abuse, if your spouse, okay, you narrowed it to woman, so let's stay there. If your husband is constantly beating you and you are keeping quiet, you are on the way to the grave. And as Fela would say, if you die wrongfully, because there is no reason whatsoever to remain in a marriage where you are being beaten. None whatsoever. No justification to remain. Not the children, not poverty, nothing whatsoever. Sometimes some women stay for some silly reasons as silly as the sex is good, or the gifts that come after the beating. The pampering. I've had a woman say, look, I like it when my husband beats me, because the weeks after that, the kind of romance that I receive, the kind of loving that I get, the kind of gifts that I get are untold. But you are heading to the grave. There are many cases to prove this. As to your direct question, today, fortunately, and in Nigeria, help is generally available. There are a number of places, in Lagos State, for instance, there are established government institutions that you reach out to. And when you do, they will investigate the abuse. They will offer you help. They will offer you shelter.
And there are a number of NGOs, right?
Yes, and there are a number of NGOs that are in this field that are doing great jobs. There is also the Social Welfare Office, which is available in Abuja and in every state capital, where you can go to. Just indeed, today, happily, social media is available to almost every person. It is for me, a thing of yesterday that women will still say, I am staying in the marriage where I am being beaten because I do not have anywhere else to go. Now, if you stay in that marriage, actually, you have nowhere else to go apart from the grave. And you're committing suicide, actually. It is not a thing of, let me be clear that today, a lot of women are still involved in this. They won't tell even their closest friends. They will not tell their parents. They won't tell their siblings. But we have since passed a time where it is still, women are stigmatized because you are the one being abused. We have passed that level in Nigeria. The point where we are now is that everybody is in agreement that this should not continue to happen. It is like stealing now. It is like armed robbery. Some people do it. Nobody admits that he does it. Pastors beat their wives. Policemen who are supposed to help beat their wives. Lawyers like me beat their wives. But we have come to agree. Not hopefully you are here, you can speak. But we have come to that point where we agree that this is bad. It is criminalized. It is not. It is actually a shameful thing now to be identified as one who beats your wife. So those who beat hide. Anything that has reached that point is on the way to its end.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Chuma, for this awesome time. We've unpacked quite a lot, and I think this has really helped somebody who's out there. So, on a final note,
I will still go to the final note.
Take that step, no, just one sentence. Before you take, so address that woman in the camp. Before you take that step.
Before you take that step, consider the situation of a diabetic who requires amputation. It is a part of you that is being cut off. So if you want to willfully leave a marriage, know for certain that it is a last resort. It is not something you do once there is a quarrel. It is not something you do once there is a misunderstanding or you feel dissatisfied. Divorce is a serious matter because marriage was originally ordained to be till the end of life. So if you must do it for very good reasons. And note that your life certainly will not remain the same. It may be that your life will get better outside, but it may also get worse. Before you change your status, think twice. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to a family lawyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chuma, for bringing such clarity and compassion and balance to such a controversial topic. And to every woman listening, this conversation is not about telling you what to do. It's about reminding you that you deserve safety, dignity, clarity, and support, whatever path you choose. Staying should never require silence or suffering. Living should never be done in fear or isolation. There is wisdom in seeking counsel, courage, and in asking the right question. And there is strength in choosing wholeness. Until next time, remember, fulfillment is found where truth, safety, and peace are allowed to coexist in every season of life that you are navigating. Until our next episode, keep living, keep going, and see you then. Bye for now.